Ooh, I swear I look like I was in the color purple. Missed it? But this is my baby, in case you guys are wondering. I guess it's gonna be a habit for me now to make late at night, early morning videos. But something just touched my heart, and I have to speak my side of view on it. And when I do videos like this, speaking contrary to what most of you guys are saying and commenting, I get a lot of hate, i.e. my messy Maya video. But I mean, it's only so many death threats and black ugly fat bitches a person can become before they become immune to it. Um, First off, let me say, I believe that violence is wrong. Hurting someone emotionally, physically, all of that is wrong. But also, you have a right to defend yourself. Defend yourself. That does not mean you try to kill the person when you're obviously stronger than them. You use enough force to keep them from hurting you. Okay? Now, I've only been in one semi-real fight in my life, and that was when I was 16, and it was with my aunt. And she hit me quite a few times, before I hit her back. Because it's like, I've always felt like I'm too grown for this. But I wanted to specifically speak on men hitting women. If you're not familiar with my videos, you're not familiar with me. But let me say this. All of these videos with these men horribly beating women, talking about, I want to act like a man, I'm going to treat you like a man. One, if it hadn't been a man in his face talking like that, he wouldn't have done that. Two, regardless of how much she talked, that's what women do. I thought we were catty. We talk, we talk, we talk, we talk. So how's that acting like a man? How's that acting like a man? And three, you're supposed to use enough force. You're supposed to use enough force to restrain a person, regardless of if it's a man or a woman. Now, a lot of these videos, these men are beating up their mothers. Mothers not even fighting back, beating up their girlfriends, little bitty women. And it's like, really? As a man, it shouldn't even get that far. As a man, you shouldn't even be arguing with a woman. Just like a person of authority, like a teacher, you shouldn't be arguing with a student. It's get out, you don't want to leave, okay, I'm calling someone. A police officer, you shouldn't be arguing with anyone. A bus driver, you shouldn't be arguing with a passenger. It's get off the bus. I am a person of authority. Goodbye. And I'm sorry, ladies, but men were put on this earth as people of authority. So if you as a man of authority, you shouldn't be sitting there arguing with a woman. You shouldn't even get to that point of you guys fighting each other. Now I'm going to share something with you guys. Something that's happened to me. The reason why you don't see her father in any of these videos. He liked to argue. He liked to argue a lot. And I am a non-confrontational person, even though, it's like, okay, there's only so much a person can take. And without going into many details of the situation, he got caught in some mess with trying to have two families down the street from each other. They wouldn't allow him to be there. And I'm like, but I'm not going to leave you out on the street. You can stay with me. But I was done. The relationship was done. It was done. All of the lies, all of the drama. It was like, I'm not about to argue. I'm not about to fight. I don't want to do it. I'm done. And another thing, I don't show my ass in public. I don't yell at my kids in public. I don't know. We're not about to argue in public. I'm going to leave. You know? If we're on the phone, I'm going to hang up. If we're in a car, I'm going to get out because I already know, okay, I'm going to get mad. I don't need this on my spirit. So this particular day, this was last year when I originally was trying to move into a house. So we're going to go see this house, and we're talking about the situation between me and the old girl. And he always got really mad when I would speak on her. And it's like, you know what? I'm not about to do this. I'm not about to argue. I turn around and to walk back home. Now I am pregnant, with her. And so he's like, come on, we need to go see this house. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm like, I'll be all right. And he gets mad, and he's like, oh, you wanted to get pregnant. Oh, you wanted to get pregnant, yada, yada, yada. And as I'm walking, he's coming in front of me. I'm walking past him. He's coming in front of me. I'm walking past him. To end it all, I'm like, I'm going home. And I point to a girl's house where he had been staying, and I told him that's where he needed to go. As I turn around, I kid you not, I promise he hit me harder than I believe he ever hit any person ever. Ever. To where, and I've never had a broken bone. I've never had anything like that. And it was like, First of all, it was this way, so I didn't see it coming. I sat down on the ground, and then I laid down, and then I laid on my back, and I'm thinking, you're in the dirt. I hate dirt. Why are you laying down? And I hear this woman screaming. Now he's irritated. He walks over to me as if he's going to help me up, but then he looks down on me, and this look of horror comes to his face. And as I sit up, I feel my gums and my teeth on my tongue, and I start screaming. Not because it hurt, but because I'm like, my face is going to be fucked up forever. If more blood than I could possibly, that I've ever seen come out of me, and I've given birth, and I'm just screaming. I'm screaming. He's pacing back and forth. I take out my phone. I call 911. He tries to hit my phone for me. I push him, and I'm trying to tell 911, the 911 operator, I need an ambulance, and you need to calm down, like giving me that fucking attitude. So I hang up on her. I call my brother. He runs off. The lady calls 911 also. He comes back with the traffic officer. I guess he figured he might as well tell on us. So I don't know. I don't care. I went to the hospital, whatever. Since I was pregnant, the doctors didn't want to touch me. Not to explain to you what happened. Okay, you see how these two teeth are a little higher than these? These two teeth in the gums was pushed back. Me talking in the hospital, my tongue pushed my gums back forward. Eventually, my teeth came back forward, but they didn't always go down. But anyway, it split through my lip. Like, that was one of the most. I can't even. The part that hurts me the most about the situation is when I've talked to dudes about it. I am so sorry, pretty mama. Is when I talked to dudes about it. Because, of course, he went to prison, and that wasn't his first time doing that. I found out it was another woman, and he beat her up, and her little girl, her 11-year-old. But, and I say, he's in prison for being physically abusive. Oh, you put him in jail? Oh, what kind of shit? I, honestly, even if I had to call the police, he did that to himself. And then they automatically figured, oh, you was probably talking shit. And honestly, in one of his letters, he even said that. Oh, I should have just walked away, like you said. You was pressing the issue. I was like, really? I was very surprised when I got the police report that he did say I turned around to walk home. That he at least told the officer, but I guess in prison he's trying to convince himself that somehow I was in the wrong. Now, I can say, yes, I was in the wrong for continuing to be with him or even associating with him as long as I did, because I felt like as parents, we need to have some type of relationship. He felt like, oh, I put it down. She ain't going nowhere. Oh, she buying me shoes. She let me stay with her, blah, 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 blah. Which all of that was out of the kindness of my heart. I really just couldn't see him out in the street, especially when he was being treated so badly by everyone else. Like right now, being in prison, has no one in his family has any contact with him. But if I'm nice and send, picture of me and the kids, he takes it as, oh, I still want to be with him. But I shared a little bit of my experience, because it's like, I don't agree with hitting anybody. I don't. I agree with disciplining your children, but once you're an adult, I feel like that's when it's God's time to take over and disciplining you. This violence with people fighting each other, and these men hitting women. I don't care what she did. I believe in gentlemen. And I'm sorry, man, if you want ladies back, you have to be gentlemen. As being put in authority over this earth, you can't act the ass and expect all the women to fall in line and do what they're supposed to do when you're not doing what you're supposed to do. It starts with you as a man. It starts with us teaching our boys. Like, how can fathers, pump their sons up to go mess and have sex with girls, but then, try to protect their daughters? Like that same little boy who's trying to mess with your little girl, his father told him the same thing that you just told your son. So it's like, if we taught our sons right, we wouldn't have to worry so much about our daughters. And yes, we need to teach our daughters also. Because it's like, honestly, if he had to hit me square on, it would have been a fight. And yes, I may have got my ass whooped, but it would have been a fight. And that's the part that fucking kill me, especially with women. Oh, no nigga better hit me. I'm gonna do that. And it is foolish for a woman to try to fight a man. That's another thing. Don't get it wrong. It's straight foolish because he may be that nigga not to give a fuck and beat you bloody to death. How a lot of men have done a lot of men. It is foolish for people to fight anyway. The only way I would ever fight, and the only way I have fought, is when I am directly endangered, or I will fight if my children are. Other than that, you can say whatever you want to say. As long as my kids aren't putting it, I don't care. I wouldn't put anyone else's kid in that either because the children has nothing to do with that. You know, my mother was ghetto. My mother was this. I've seen my mother fight many times. I tried to talk her out of it. And I honestly believe I tried really hard to be the opposite of her. The only thing we have in common, I think, aside from facial features and DNA, similar DNA, is the fact that I have the same amount of kids she did at her age. I've never lived with anyone. You know, I blah 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 blah. I strive to be the opposite type of person she was, and it's like something that kind of hit home with me. It might not be a big deal to you guys, but while watching the Bad Girls Club, you know, it's 2 seasons where mothers on the phone egg their daughters on and fighting. And then I saw when Tanisha gets married, how she cried, talking about how she didn't want to fight. And it was like, okay, yes, I want my daughter to be able to defend herself, but would I be like that? Would I? You know? And I was like, no, I'm not. If she didn't want to fight, don't fight. But you need to figure out an alternative in protecting yourself, and that's it. I'm not about to be one of those mothers. I'll get out and fight for her for sure, you know, but I'm not going to be one of those mothers. Oh, you better beat. No, 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 no. I never got into a fight in high school because I was the girl who made you feel stupid for even wanting to fight. It's like, really? Is it that serious? Is it that serious? You really looking stupid right now. You need to calm down. You know, I have no problem with talking things out. I'm very loving, caring, and forgiving. But as a mother, I can see that my anger has elevated a little bit, especially with some of the shit that I've been through. It's like, okay, okay. But the whole purpose of this video was to talk about men beating up women. And of course, I spoke on fighting in general because I don't agree with any of it. And I hate how in all these comments on videos on YouTube, I don't even watch the videos. I'll read the comments and it lets me know, okay, this is not a video that I want to see. Where everybody is laughing about women getting knocked out. And some video that was on Watch Hip Hop a while ago, I didn't watch it. I guess it was some barbecue and they got the girl drunk. And I don't know what happened, but in the comments it suggested that they raped her. And somebody was like, yeah, as long as the pussy wet, it's okay. I guess rape will be a whole other video. But men need to be men as an example for women to be women. I feel like a lot of women have to show out and prove, you know, that you're not going to continue to mistreat them and use them because, of course, women have been suppressed throughout history, and so is black people, which is why I feel like black people show out because it's like, okay, look, we're not slaves no more. I'm not going to be mistreated by anybody, whether it's a black person, because I honestly believe back in slavery times, Massa had other black people beating black people, so they felt like they was something. So it's like something in us as black people and in women of all races to where it's like, hell no, I don't care if it's a big ass nigga, I don't care if it's a 500-pound fat woman, I don't care what it is, I have to defend myself. I can get the shit beat out of me, but I'm not going to continue to be treated this way, even if they've never been treated that way. It's just something inside of you that makes you feel like that, because I'm noticing in these videos the black person is always wrong if it's in other races, or the woman is always wrong if it's with a man. And if it's a black woman, she wrong right on again. It's like I feel like the only thing we should be trying to prove, or the only being we should be trying to prove something to, is God, and that we deserve to go to heaven. That's it. And I'm on a mission right now to prove that to him. It's like, okay, yeah, I've done this in my life, I've done that, but it's like I need to show you that I'm worthy to go to heaven. Not I need to show y'all in internet land or in TV land that I'm the baddest bitch that I can beat up a nigga. And no, that's not gonna help me in life. Because at the end of the day, me proving myself to God that I'm worthy of His love and His grace, and in going into His kingdom, that's what's going to protect me when the shit really hit the fan. When I have breast cancer, God forbid, or when I get this disease, or when I get that, or when I get that. Me proving to you that I can fight, or that I can yell, or that I can curse louder than whomever else isn't going to come back and save me. That's not. And that's not going to save you either. And then these women fighting in front of kids. Oh, if I ever have to fight in front of my kids, I promise you that person better kill me. That person better kill me. No, in front of nobody's kids. Your kids, the neighbor's kids running outside, and then these people beating up these women that's pregnant. Yes, she gets the pass because she's pregnant. Yes, she does. I don't care. Yes, she does. She does. If she's stupid, I know it's like almost 20 minutes. I got another story for you guys. I have a huge, gigantic double stroller, right? Get it onto the bus. I'm trying to go into the aisle with the stroller to put it in the seat to get out of people's way. This lady's sitting at the end seat with her baby asleep, but her baby is hanging into the aisle. I'm like, I'm trying not to hit your baby. Did she move the baby? No. Now, if the baby was to be hit, it would be her fault. But I'm like, okay, I'm not about to let this baby suffer because of her or his, I don't know if it was a male or female, ignorant, dumb ass mother. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. The baby is probably going through all type of other bullshit because of the type of mother that he or she has. You know, people say, oh, she don't respect herself. So I'm not going to respect. Fuck that. Fuck that. As a human being, from being born, we all deserve a certain amount of respect and consideration. That's it. The rest is earned. The rest is considered as credentials, experience, maturity. But it's like, you know what? You want to show your ass, you go right on ahead. As long as you don't run up on me, hitting me, show your ass. Like, and men. There's easy ways to restrain a woman. Y'all feel like y'all gotta prove yourself. Either way go, you look like a bitch. If you get beat up by the woman, you look like a bitch. If you beat up the woman, you look like a bitch. So why not just leave it alone? Why not? Why you have to get the last word? Why not just be like, you know what, my bad, I'm sorry? Because I'll do that. Like, you know what, I'm sorry, you're right, let's leave it alone. Nah. We get, and then niggas want to still argue. It's like, I'm not about to argue with you. I'm not. You can think what you want to think. That's fine. Because I'm noticing that a lot in men. They have to nitpick. Ain't talking, I don't know how long. Remember that last time we talked? Yeah, you hung up on me after you. And that happened to me today. I'm like, wait, time out. Really? Are you really bringing this up? Really? You want to talk about why I hung up on you? Like, oh my gosh. Like, I had someone approach me yesterday and start talking to me. And I asked him what made him come to me and talk to me. He said, because I was so happy. You know, he said, even with having my kids and all of my stuff and low-key struggling, trying to get shit together and do this and that, I was smiling. I was positive. The secret to my happiness is staying away from miserable people. It's staying away from negativity. It's like, you know what? It's not even important me being right. Especially if I know I'm right. What's arguing with you going to prove? Which is going to make us both mad. And that actually makes people madder that you don't want to argue with them. It's crazy. But I wonder if I'm going to post this video. I don't have weave in my head. I didn't want. I never did this before. I just wanted to do this. No. Like I said, the only thing you should be trying to prove is that you're worthy enough of God's love. And if you don't believe in God, then it's really nothing you should be trying to prove to nobody. Like everybody said, well, you're not paying my bills. You're not. Even if you were paying my bills, I had to prove nothing to you because whatever you're doing, I can do for myself. Period. But I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm so glad I stopped crying before I started recording this video. But anyway, later, gators.